Hi everybody and welcome back to my backyard once again. Today I'm gonna make an update video on the Hover Air X1 Pro Max. Because I initially reviewed this little selfie drone more than 1 year ago, but a lot of things have changed, have been added, have been improved. So the team at Hover asked me to make an update video to show you what's new. Before that, I'm gonna give you a couple of info if you're not familiar with it. This is a selfie drone. It's meant to be used as a flying action camera. You have it on yourself because it's very small. Take it out, press a button, flies on its own, takes the shot, and when it's done, it lands back on your hand, ready to go in your pocket again. This is the Pro Max. They also have a base model called the X1, mid-tier called the Pro, and of course, this has the best specs. And despite looking so small and light, it has a maximum follow speed of something more than 50 kilometers per hour, which is a lot. It's completely protected by this grid of very elastic material, so you can handle it, no problem for your fingers. It's safe around objects, around people, and also it's very hard to break. Actually, I had it for more than 1 year. I crashed a lot with it, and despite having some scratches here and there, I never had to change anything on it. If you end up breaking it, they sell repair kits, or you can have an accessory warranty that covers crashes and losses. The camera is on a 2-axis gimbal for stabilization, and it has the best sensor I've seen put in a selfie drone because it's a little bigger than the competition, 1 over 1.3 inch. It can shoot in 8K 30 or 4K 120 frames per second, and it also supports log and HLG. And it has a very wide 16mm equivalent field of view, so it's gonna be very wide horizontal and no problem cropping vertically, and it still can crop in 4K. It also comes with 64 GB of internal storage, and look here, a SD card slot, which is something other companies are not giving you for some weird reason. You have a removable battery at the top that's gonna give you around 16 minutes of battery life, and a little screen with buttons to change settings without pulling out your phone. It has sensors at the bottom and at the back that are used to navigate indoors without GPS and have a little bit of obstacle avoidance. That works in front of the drone because it sees the obstacles. At the back, if you go slow, it will stop when it detects a wall, but it doesn't have full 360 obstacle avoidance, so be careful when you fly because it could hit obstacles it finds in its path. Another thing I really appreciate about this drone is the design. It folds up into nothing, and they made a ton of accessories for every occasion. And one of my favorites is this charging case. It opens like a cassette player and not only protects the drone, but charges it when it's inside. So you always have a full charge ready. It also doubles as a power bank for your phone, and it will keep the batteries warm in winter when you go skiing. But the coolest accessory is probably the beacon. This little device has a little OLED screen, super visible in daylight. It will help you preview what the drone is doing both on the ground and when it's flying. You can change settings and also control its movement. And it also has a little microphone so you can record your voice into the drone's videos. And this comes with accessories as well. You can put this part, it becomes a motion controller, so you can control the drone by tilting your hand. And by putting the other side, it becomes a full-fledged drone radio, so you can control it like a regular cinematic drone for maximum 1 kilometer out. But it's very nice when you are traveling and you wanna get some shots that are not of yourself. If you want a bigger screen, you can stick your phone in. If you don't want to use the controller, you can fully control the drone using your smartphone. But the most important feature of the beacon is that it streams its location to the drone. So if you are cycling, you are skiing, and the drone loses track of you, it can still find you thanks to the beacon. And they have a lot of accessories like bike mounts, like clips you can put on yourself, so it's always with you. And this is the only selfie drone that has this feature so far. They have changed the voice of the drone. Now it's a lot more soothing, and also you can change the volume or disable it completely. The drone now comes with 14 different flight modes. There are quite a bit more, and also you can customize them, select which ones you want to show up and which ones to have in the drone menu, so it's a little bit less cluttered. Maybe there are modes you don't use that often. Every mode comes with a ton of settings you can change globally or individually. I am now in live preview because I want to show you the updates. First of all, now it supports voice control. You don't need the phone or the beacon, the microphone is on the drone. Hi Hover, take off.
Continue, hover.
And we are in hover mode, which is the drone stays stationary like a tripod. Now I have it set up so it follows me, but it doesn't move in the air. The update is that both with your phone and with the beacon you can actually control its position finally. So you can set it exactly where you need it, even mid-flight. And this is incredibly useful because this drone doesn't support gesture control. So you will have to use the phone or the beacon, which is much more convenient, of course. After hover, we have
Zoom out.
zoom out. And in this mode, the drone will go very far from you in a straight line and come back. After that, we have the
Dolly zoom.
dolly zoom, which is similar. The drone still goes back, but at the same time it zooms in. This is a new mode. It zooms in and it creates a kind of a vertigo effect.
Orbit.
Then we have a classic, the orbit. The drone will spin in circles around you. You can select the height and how many circles to go. Then
Spiral.
we have the spiral, which is similar to the orbit, but it will go up. And this is a test audio from the beacon. You can hear that it removes the drone noise completely. But from the phone, the audio quality is a little bit better. Super useful because you can actually change the angle it's following. Then you have
Snapshot.
snapshot, which raising your hand, it shoots a photo.
360-degree spin.
360-degree spin is meant to capture panoramas. The drone stays still and it spins all around.
Bird's eye.
Bird's eye, it's a classic. The drone goes up and it takes a top-down shot of yourself. You can have it flat or spinning. Then we have
Follow.
a lot of follow modes. You have the regular follow, which is meant to be following someone on foot from the back. Then you have
Indoor follow.
indoor follow. It follows your path a lot more precisely, so it has less chance of bumping into objects. Then you have cycling mode, which is very similar to indoor follow. It's optimized for faster moving targets, so you are on a bike, you are on a scooter. Instead of following you directly, it will take the bends you take, so it has less chance if you are on a narrow path of bumping into trees along the path. Then
Ski mode.
ski mode is kind of the opposite of indoor follow and cycling mode, because instead of following your turns exactly, it kind of smooths them out, because when you're skiing, you're kind of going this way and it will make you dizzy if the drone did this as well. So it evens out, it goes straight down and it follows you more smoothly. Then you have
Angle track.
angle track, which instead of following you from the back, is following you from your desired angle, which usually is at the side. And having the beacon or your phone out in this mode is super useful because you can change the angle, the height is following you from. So you can adjust your shot how you like. You can also orbit yourself, so the drone will go in the front. I love this update because they made this drone so much more capable. Look at this. You can even do complex moves like this. And lastly, you have
Dolly track.
dolly track. It's very similar to the angle track, but it follows you straight in front. You can still move it with the beacon or your phone. The last mode is
Manual control.
manual control. When you attach an accessory, it will go into manual control. Here we have the motion controller. You have up, down, yo, and then if you press the trigger at the back, it activates the motion control. Now the commands are reversed because it's meant to be used the other way, and just look at the screen. Attaching the other half of the controller, boom. Now you are in pro mode. And just look how quick it goes. For being so small, it's actually quite fast. And you can get shots of other objects other than yourself. And it does actually a very good job. So, even after a year, it's still a very solid selfie drone. I like that they listen to the community, they have implemented many requested features. They added fun features and quality of life improvements, like the full control with the beacon. This drone comes at a more premium price point than the competition, but also it offers more pro-level features, like the SD card slot. It's crazy, in 2026 this is a pro-level feature, but here we are. A better camera, log profiles, and it's gonna be better in niche use cases like skiing, cycling, because it can follow you faster, and with the beacon GPS, the drone is safe and can always come back to you. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Let me know what do you think about this drone, if you ever tried one. If you wanna buy something, check out the links in the description below, because clicking on them, you help my channel a lot, and many times you also find discounts. Thank you so much, stay safe, and happy flying. Bye!